Hey guys, welcome back, and in this video we are going to explore the graphical user interface tool of Nmap, which is called Zenmap. So you can just open the Zenmap tool in your Kali Linux by going to the applications tab here and enter Zenmap. So after that you can just enter your password, then you can just click authenticate. So once you enter your correct password, then you will be able to see the Zenmap tool. Alternatively, if Zenmap in some cases, if it is not installed, then you can just install that by entering sudo apt install Zenmap. So this lets you install this tool. So let me enter Kali. So you can see this is about upgrading. So I'm just pressing Y to upgrade. So yeah, let it run. So you can just install this tool like this also. Alternatively, you do have the GitHub repo maybe available. So I will show you that also. So yeah, this was done, upgraded. So yeah, you can just search for GitHub in Zenmap GitHub. So once you enter that, you will be able to see that, and also the official website of nmap.org also has this Zenmap, and you also have the download page. So the Zenmap user guides and some other things, right? The Nmap download page is here, and for Windows, Linux, and all those things, the Nmap is here. But usually, in by default, Zenmap is installed on a computer. So if you are facing issue in Zenmap, then I highly recommend you to update your Linux by entering the sudo apt update command. Okay, if still the issue was not resolved or you are not able to use Zenmap, then you also have to upgrade. Okay, so if still you are facing issue regarding this, then let me know in the comment sections below, guys. Okay, so let's start with the Zenmap tool. So this is the Zenmap tool. So this is basically the graphical user interface tool of Nmaps. So most people watching this video will know about the Nmap tool. So Nmap is a network mapper tool, which is an unavoidable tool in Linux. Like when you open the manual of Nmap, so this is, you can see, this is the network exploration tool and security port scanner. So this is kind of a really essential tool in Linux. But in case of Zenmap, we also have a Zenmap, which will show you the manual of the Zenmap tool, which is basically the graphical Nmap front end and results viewer. Okay, so you will be able to see a lot of description about what this tool and how you can use this tool, some of the help menus, and for running this in the command line by specifying the -n and other options like for verbose, target, profile. So yeah, you can just enter Zenmap like this and -n for Nmap, right? So this you can just launch Zenmap by entering Zenmap only, or you can just give -t in Zenmap, like Zenmap -t and the target, like in this case 192.168.29.13, which is my metasploitable 2, and it get automatically added here. So you don't have to add that, but you can just add that easily using the terminal itself. So this is something that most people misses, so that's why I just included that, because Zenmap is a graphical user interface tool, while most of the tutorial will show you adding things here, like they are adding target here and showing things like that. But I feels a little different is what makes me different. So yeah, so let me view the manual page of Zenmap again, and you also have the profile option and verbose option and some other options. So this is something that I recommend you to try. So for example, start with the given target. If combined with -p, begin a scan with the given profile. So start with the given profile selected. The profile name is just a string, regular scan. If combined with the -t, begin a scan with the given profile against a specified target. So in this case, we have some indent scan and the regular scan, some other scans, right? So let's perform a regular scan using these options, like Zenmap -t for the target and -p for the profile. So let me press enter. So it's saying that unknown type. So we just get that, but it's just started that, as you can see. This was scanning, and the scan was started using the command line interface, you will be able to launch this tool, and you don't have to enter things in the graphical user interface. But again, you can enter things in the graphical user interface also, but this feels something a little different, so that's why I shown here as an ethical hacker. As a newbie here, you have to know more about the command line interface, so that's the reason I've been showing you how you can use the Zenmap tool using the CLI, and that is cool. So anyways, you also have to view the manual of every tool before you use, and if possible view the help menu. So that is also provide you some more information in some tools. Let me check if Zenmap has that, and here it is, guys. In the Zenmap also you have some information which seems to be similar to what we seen in the manual, but here you can see for results file -f, specify a scan results file in nmap xml output format. So you can just give, for example, so the command that we entered before, right, the scan was completed, as you can see. So this is how you can complete that using here, right? So using the Zenmap tool, right? So let me show you one more thing, like let me put a double quote, so that seems good, I think. And after that, I'm just giving -f and save this in a file called file.xml. I think I don't have to specify the extension. Let me remove that and try that out. And still the file unknown type is what is shown here. So let me close and enter .xml. Now still it's saying that unknown URL type. So file.xml. So anyways, the scan was started. Let's see if it completes, what will happen. So when I enter ls, you have the aa.xml, which was something that I done before. So you have the minus file equal to results file. So I think you have to put equal to, like -f equal to file.xml, I think. Still we are getting error. The scan was completed so fast because we are performing the regular scan, right? So you have to put double quotes so that it will work seamlessly. But the -f option is somewhat, or sorry, -f results file. So yeah, specify a scan result file in nmap xml output format. So can be used more than once to specify several scan results files. So let me use the a.xml. So anyways, I'm not going to deep into that because that feels a little bit confusion. You can just search for that if you want to know more about that. Like, we have wide variety of online and tools available. Zenmap option, like Zenmap and -f results, and the snippet you are shared was like this, and how we can use this tool will provide by this artificial intelligence. Let's see. So here you can see scan1. This will open Zenmap and load both scan1.xml and scan2.xml. So you have to specify both files. So yeah, we can use that. So in the meantime, let's dive into the graphical user interface here, right? So we can just enter the target, right? So once you launch the Zenmap tool, you can just enter your target as 192.168.29.13. In this case, I've been using the Metasploitable 2 mission. You can just use a mission that you would like to use, but it is highly recommended to use highly vulnerable missions like Metasploit, or the missions that you have permission to use. Okay, so after that, I'm just performing only a quick scan. So, and just clicking scan. This is basically a fast scan, which includes -F, which will scan for most common 100 ports. Out of 100, 82 are closed, and the rest of the ports are open, and these are some of the ports. Right. After that, you can just click the host and OS. Here, no informations, but here in the services, you do have services related informations. Once you click HTTP, you can see it's running on port 80. The protocol is TCP. The state is open. Like that, when you click each port, you will be able to to see the host name, port, protocol state, and version, and the nmap output. And after that you have the topology. You can just zoom that. You can see this is our IP address and this is the local host, right? So after that we have the host details, like the host is up and open ports is 18 and 82 are filtered ports, and there is 0 closed ports, and there is 100 ports scanned, and uptime is not available, and last boot is not available. And we have the IPv4 address of the target is this IP, and there is not IPv6 was not available in this case, and MAC address again is not available. The scan results will not include that. Once you move the scans, this is basically a fast scan which may not include a lot of things. So let's perform the indent scan and perform the scan, right? So to see what it includes in this indent scan, right? So it includes the -v, which is the verbose, and as you can see, like what you see in the command line interface, the verbose is also here in the graphical user interface of nmap, which is the Zenmap, right? So you can see all those activities happening in the background was shown here in this tool, and you can see it is performing the script scan, and it's basically an aggressive scanning on timing template 4, and the verbose was on. That is basically the indent scan profile in Zenmap. So like that, you also have some other like a ping scan or quick scan. So once you click that, you will be able to see how nmap will use that particular command, right? So you can just copy this entirely and paste this in the terminal and scan that using the CLI of CLI by using the nmap tool. But this seems to be a tool that everyone need to know. Like Zenmap is also something that I recommend you to know. Alternatively, you can edit these contents. Like if you don't want this, then you can just edit and scan. First, let this complete. After that, I will show you that, guys. Okay, so let it run. So alternatively, you have the scan option. From there, you have the new window, which will open up the new window. Okay, so that's something to remember. You can just open multiple Zenmap tools like this. Okay, so this scan was, I think, completed, and as you can see, nmap done, which pretty much means that the scan was completed. And these are the informations that we have. Now, when we move to the services, you can see the similar information with the version, and the topology is like a similar thing. And from the host, you have some more information. Right now we have some operating system information and some ports used information, OS classes information, so TCP sequence information, IP-ID sequence information, and some other informations, right? So that is why if you perform some other scan, then you will get some more details than what you performed before, right? So yeah, these are some of the details that you will be able to get by performing these types of scans in nmap. After that, you also have the open scan option and save scan option. So you can just save this scan, you have two scans loaded. So select the scan which you would like to save. So I'm just saving this scan and saving into a file called, you can just give a file name that you want. I'm just giving file.xml and saving that in the home Kali. Okay, let me move to Kali. So first we have to move to home Kali, like then file.xml. Okay, once I press enter, I think it may save here. Here it is. Here is our file.xml. So this was saved. Now when you close this and close anyway, you can just open the Zenmap and enter the password, because you are just logging this as root. Once you launch like this, you are now a root user, right? So you are entering password, and once you try to save this result, you will be saving that in the root, because you are launching this Zenmap tool as a root user. So once you launch from here, you are launching this tool as a root user. That is why you are prompting to enter the password. But once you launch that from the terminal, then you are not launching this tool as a root user. Okay, so here I'm just importing the scan results. So here it is. You have the option to import import, or other than that you can just click the open scan option and just import like this, and you will be able to view the scans that you performed previously, right? So after that we also have some other options, like we also have save all scans to directory, plain save scan, close in this particular window, like that, right? So I also have the compare results option from the tools section. So once you click here, you can just open the scan here, and you can just compare, right? I have like I'm just now as root, so I have to move to the home directory, Kali. After that, I also have the previous scan of aa.xml. So I'm just the both are in the same metasploitable, but I'm just clicking compare. As in the compare scan, you can see this is how it looks like. Right. So yeah, the scan that I performed before is, I think, on the scanme.nmap.org, and this is somewhat the comparison looks like. So right, you can see everything in a single window, right? So this is about the comparison. You can compare two scans at a time from here, like this. Both should be in different color, right? So yeah, yeah, it's 8.8.8.8. So yeah, so this is the comparison, and after that you also have other options, like search scan results. So you can just click here to search a scan results. For example, we have the expressions option. For the keyword option, you can just include the date, operating system, port number. Like port 21 is open. I'm just clicking that to add. So I'm just pressing enter. Nothing works. So quick scan on this indent scan. So I'm not understanding that. Once you click here in the expressions, you have something, but I'm not able to read that. So from here, port, I just specify the port and click open, and you can see the options like open, scanned, and some other options. You can, once you click the open, you can see the quick scan on this particular IP, and the indent scan on this particular IP has this port 21 open. Like that, you will be able to find related informations, like when I enter service and enter SSH, and when I click add, you can see the quick scan and this indent scan found that. When I enter RDP, there is nothing found that. So when I enter HTTP, you can see both these founds that. And then the AA, nothing found that. Like that, you will be able to identify service, target, and some other informations from this search in Nmap. Right. So after that, you also have the filter host option. So this is something that I recommend you to explore, because it's not working, I think. Filter host, yeah, here it is. So I will also show that, like we have the one by one host shown, we have the host filter. So you can just enter the host as 192.168.29.13. This is the host. You can just filter that out, or I'm just entering 8.8.8.8, and you don't have some other information, like this is the host filter, and 0 by 1 host is shown. So once I enter some contains, like this is host filter. So filter host, yeah, if you use multiple hosts here, then you will be able to filter that out. So here we also we can also change the values from here, like if you don't want the aggressive scan, you can just remove that, and like this, right? So and you can just perform the scan. So let's perform the scan by changing the target. In this case, I'm just changing it to scanme.nmap.org. So right, so scanme.nmap.org, and performing the scan, you can see. So this is basic scan with the verbose on, and you will be able to see what is happening there, right? So you have some informations like this is discovered port 22 SSH, port 80 HTTP, and again port 80 and 22 again. So let it complete. You also have the new profile or command option. from here you will be able to see some other options. So this is, I highly recommend you to explore it by yourself. And after that, you also have help or report bug options or edit selected profile options, right? So this was about 36% completed. Okay, now let it complete. So after that, you will be able to, I think, filter the host. So it's 36% completed. In Nmap, we can just press buttons like space or any other button in the keyboard to see the progress of the scan, but in this case it's automatically showing that like from 36 to 35, maybe because we are scanning the scanme.nmap.org. If we scan some others, then you will be able to get some information. So we are just scanning only for port 80 in this case for performing the scan, and there is no profile selector, right? You can see the scan was completed and it's in a filtered state, maybe firewall is blocking. So anyways, you will be able to see we have 2 by 2 hosts now, right? So you can just filter that out like scan me, and you will be able to see the results, or you can just filter that out by entering 192.168.2.9.13, and you will be able to see the information related to that. All the services you are seeing is about on this particular IP, but once you enter scan me, you will be able to see only this, right? So this is how you can filter that out, right? I hope you understand that. Like you can just filter something from here like FTP, I think. No, this is basically host filter, but things like FTPs, I think, may be working. No, yeah, this is host filter. You can just put host and filter that out, right? So, but seems to be working. I think something happening when I enter something like here, like telnet. Yeah, but its basic functionality is to filter the host, and so under scan me you will be able to see those results about that particular host, right? So like that you will be able to filter the host using this option once you perform scans on multiple targets, right? That must be helpful for us. While Nmap is helpful, while Zenmap is really helpful, right? You have some additional functionalities, like you have the option to scan results, while Nmap also has that particular option, but here you also have the option to filter the scan and find your previous scans like that, right? So this feels a really good tool, like someone who will scan for multiple targets. So I think this seems to be a useful tool in my personal opinion. So what do you guys think about this tool, guys, and how do you rate this video, guys? So yeah, if I'm mistaken in something, then you can just comment down and I'm happy to correct in the upcoming videos. So yeah, so you can also save all scans to a directory by clicking this option, right? So I also missed you to show you one thing. We launched the Zenmap tool from here, right? So it will be prompted you to enter the password because you are just launching this tool as root. But once you launch the tool from here in the terminal, you won't be able to prompt for any password. But if you try to save the results, in this case, if you try to save the results, then what happens here, like you can see it's now in indent scan, right? So you can just perform ping scan and everything got changed. But once you change here, then the profile will go off, right? So there is no profile for that particular scan. Like once you change the command, there is no profile. Okay, you can just scan that. So by clicking here, and once you click the save scan option, so yeah, let it complete, and after that I will show you. So here nmap scan was done. So once you click the save scan option, you will be able to see now you are in the Kali, right? So once you open that Zenmap from here, you are in the root, right? You are launching this tool as root. Once you want to save that, then you have to save it. You have to move to the home directory and save. You can also save that in root, but it is not recommended to save results in the root directory as of now. So you can just open the tool from the terminal to launch this tool without sudo. But if you open from here, you are basically launching with a sudo. Okay, so yeah, you're launching as root user. So yeah, I hope I was able to deliver you some good content for this video. So I hope this video is informative for you and give you some understanding of this tool. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one.